Hello and welcome to Devlog number 5. I'm Shirley and I'm working on a farming game where you can discover mythical crops. In this video, I'll go through all the new features and improvements I've made over the last 2 months. If you've seen my previous devlogs, you might have already noticed the first change, art improvements. I redrew the player character in a smaller size so it looks more proportional to other objects in the game. I also improved the character animations. For example, I replaced the walk animation with a run animation to reflect the player's speed in the game, and I added 2 more frames to make the movement smoother. I also updated the tool animations so it actually looks like the player is hitting an object and not their feet. I also redesigned the farmhouse to match my new character size. An issue I had with the old farmhouse was that the colors didn't have enough contrast and brightness, which made the art look flat. So this time, I picked new colors that have different brightness values. If I change to black and white, you can see the old design has no contrast, so it's very difficult for the eyes to focus. But the new design has much more clarity. The next feature I worked on was building construction and renovation. Buildings can be constructed on the farm using blueprint items. When a blueprint is placed, it becomes a construction site that completes after a few days. Completed buildings can be relocated or demolished using special items. They can also be renovated. You can paint the roof, wall, or trim on the exterior and change the wallpaper or flooring for the interior. Some buildings can also be upgraded to larger sizes by applying an upgrade blueprint. Upgrades take a few days to complete and preserve any exterior or interior renovations that were applied. After adding building construction, specifically the barn, I was finally able to add farm animals to my game. For prototyping, I added sheep based on the adorable Valais black-nosed sheep. I created an animal store menu for purchasing baby animals, and implemented a mood system for farm animals. Animals in a good mood are more likely to produce premium products. Animal moods can increase through player interactions, but in some situations, they can drop as well. Animal products will either drop in the animal's home or need to be collected with a tool, like shearing sheep for wool. I added an animal menu to display animal information, and animal home buildings can also be reassigned here. The most challenging part for implementing farm animals is navigating them between the farm and their home. Unlike NPCs, animals cannot follow fixed paths because their home can be built anywhere on the farm. And objects might be placed anywhere on the farm that block animals from passing. So my solution is to simply teleport animals between the farm and their home. But make sure that players cannot see them vanish, because that breaks game immersion. To do this, I created a whistle item that can be used inside animal homes to recall animals. When the whistle is used in a building, animals that live there will wait for a random duration before teleporting home. To the player, it looks like the animals found their way home from the farm, whereas in reality, they simply teleported without any pathfinding. There's a lot more on animal navigation and behaviors that are too technical for this video. If you're curious about anything, feel free to leave a comment and I'm happy to discuss them. I also added a breeding system for farm animals. When breeding 2 animals, their offspring will inherit from one parent, or it might mutate. I also added optional breeding items that can influence the chance of mutations or gender. I think it's fun for the players to discover how to breed different variations of animals as they play the game, so I won't spoil how it works. Right now, my plan is to have 6 to 7 variants for each animal, including legendary variants that can only be obtained once per game and provide powerful benefits. But I'll need to playtest the breeding system to decide on the ideal number of variants to have. Finally, it's time for the weirdest bug. Actually, this time I didn't run into any weird bugs, so I'll show you the funniest bug instead. This is what happens when you mix up left and right animations. That's it for this devlog. Thank you for watching and see you next time.